Tonight, we're going to cover a lot of stuff, guys. My first introduction to Becky. A little bit about the Gain It case, because that is actually important, which carries on and ties into something else, which ties into the big TV production thing I'm doing with the Hollywood production company at the moment, which is going out in the summer. This is going to be featured on there as part of that as well. So this is relevant. Right, before I do a goddamn thing now, guys. How are you all? First question, priority. How are you guys? How are you all doing? Patty, thank you so much, darling. She's such a brilliant wife. I swear to God. And I got to say that because she's watching, obviously. Right, okay. So I'm just going to jump in. Great. Okay, mate. Fantastic. I assume everyone's doing great. I'm sorry for the cockle earlier, but that is totally not my fault. I said no responsibility whatsoever. Okay, so the TV production people that I'm working with at the moment, they've been asking the people, they've actually flown over to the UK this week and interviewed a whole lot of people that worked with me in the past and been on cases with me. And the question that they relayed to me is the production people, the executive producers saying, so who do you think Becky is or what Becky is? Sounds like a major cat fight going on. I hope it's not my cat. Anyway, we're going to get to that later. But in the meantime, yeah, me and Becky met many years ago now. I got called to Gainers on a case. She was actually trying to get away from it all because it was just too much thought was going on in the house. So she went to Lanzarote. A friend of hers contacted me for a recommendation saying, yeah, Don, can you go and check this place out? I'm not going to give you the long version, but I don't just take a case. I go around and interview the client a couple of times before I say, yeah, I will take your case. Because, you know, there's a lot of funny people out there. And some people just want attention. And we don't do them sort of cases. So we went round, agreed to take the case, went down with a colleague, Tony, fantastic guy. This is when I'm my team in the UK, JSI, Paranormal UK. And during the investigation, it was most apparent to me that I was in the presence of a female. Didn't know at this point who she was, what she was, where she was from, what she wanted, or what her name was. So I thought, has she got any abilities? Because, you know, at the end of the day, it's results we're after. Not just voices, results. So I put out a temperature gun. I can't remember what it was at, but you'll see the clip in a minute. And I said, can you, rather casually, take the temperature back down? The temperature down for me. This voice just went, yes. Absolutely fantastic. I was like, wow. We're going to play this clip now. I need you to note how much the temperature came down in what time period, because that is important, and that also corresponds to another clip I'm going to play in a little while after that. George, good evening, sir. There was a cockle-purdy with YouTube, not myself, sir, so it was about half hour late. I spent half hour talking to myself, apparently. Okay, so this is the first ever introduction to Becky. Listen very carefully to the voice. You will hear yes.
Can you take the temperature back up for us?
Yes.
Can you take the temperature back up for us?
Yes.
Okay, straight back up to 48.9, 50.
$18 degrees, guys. 18 degrees in 14 minutes. We're talking around about the freezing temperature of water. That was fascinating. Obviously, you didn't see the clip. I was saying, Becky, can you take it down? Can you take it down? Can you take it down? I think it started at 50 or 60. We went, oh no, it said 80 degree difference, didn't it? So you can do the calculations there. So that was my first ever introduction to Becky. Wow, I was intrigued. How often do you go into a place, you ask someone to do something, go, yes, and they do it? Fantastic. So over time, now, I was a little bit suspicious of Becky because I started to get a lot of nice recordings and replies, and she had a nice voice, which was very helpful. And bearing in mind, this is a place I call that portal picture, which people that follow, I've seen the thing coming from the corner of the kitchen. So we all know that certain types of spirits can present themselves as certain types of spirits, even if that's not the actual type of spirit they actually really are. So yeah, I'm nobody's fool. Who is this Becky? Is she really who she proclaims to be? Could she be something pretending to be something other than what she really is? So over quite a long period of time, I frequented Gainers. I mean, the whole thing with Gainers, I was on that case for 3 years in total, not to resolve it. Gaynor was making claims of being beaten by poltergeist and having to sleep with pillows on her head and all sorts of weird and wonderful and wild shit. And she got a lot of criticism for this. It's the most active homeowner's house I've ever been in all my years. So like I was saying, I was a little bit curious who's this Becky. Over time, I got more and more comfortable with her, and this relationship started to develop to the point a council asked me to investigate Abbey Park in the UK. These ruins, I made reports of this and that. I did that. So before I went, I said, last time I was at Gainers, Becky, I've got to do this investigation at Abbey Park. Would you meet me there and help me? She said, yes. I totally forgot about it. It was 2 or 3 weeks later, and I'm at Abbey Park. I feel this presence of a female. I put the recorder on. I said, who's that? It's Becky. Then I remembered. You mean you've actually kept our appointment to meet me here and help me? She said, yes. Fantastic. What about that? Isn't that something? That is really something, isn't it? So we did the investigation. She led me to believe that I know where Colonel Wolseley is actually buried. They found the King Richard III. They said, what we've got to do now, we've got to find Colonel Wolseley. Newsflash, I know where he is. Just saying, you know where I am. So the relationship developed. In the end, after quite some time, I said, Becky, will you come and stay with me and help me to help people? Because obviously it's a massive asset. Investigators, mediums, or whatever go into a place and say, it's okay, it's all sorted now, everything's good. How do you know that? How can you possibly know that? Well, depending on your belief structure, you can run around with stage sticks. You can do the abracadabra or whatever and say, oh yeah, it's all clear now, you're all good. How do you know that? If you was a spirit, a nasty spirit in a person's house, and someone came round, even if sage sticks worked, I'm not going to offer any comment on that, each to their own. If I was a spirit person, I would think, okay, I'm going to hop out of here and I can pop back later. No problem. How simplistic is that? I'll just hop out of here. I'll come back later. How can a person know a place is sorted, clear, clean, healthy? The fact of the matter is, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but you know what? Let's just be logical about this. As a human being, with whatever belief structure you've got, there is no way on this planet that you can know that. You can wish that, you can believe that yourself, but you can never know that, because you know what? You can't see what's going on. There could be 50 spirits in the garden waiting for you to leave. Okay, they're gone now. Let's pop back in again and just carry on causing mayhem and annoying people or whatever, making them feel uncomfortable. With Becky by my side, and this has been proven many, many times, including the case in Northampton, where voices coming out of the air that independent people heard, like, I will kill you, break his legs, etc., etc. There's a video all about that, as you know, guys, that follow me on this channel. It's all there. Northampton haunting or something like that. So can you imagine having Becky say, Becky, what's going on? Becky, can you and the guys sort this out? Is it sorted? Yes. That is the only way that you can know a place is, let's call it healthy, calm, and peaceful again. Otherwise, it's assumption, it's wishful thinking, and it's, I hope so. Because the client will never know, because they don't know any different than what you tell them. problem being with that is whether on the phone a week later or 2 days later saying, you said it was cleared and there's still stuff going on. And you know what? I've come across people that have had people in that said, it's all sorted now. Here's your dollars, here's your pounds. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good job. And then I've gone around to find that there's nothing been changed at all. And it's only with the intervention of myself and Becky. And I can actually say and record, say, Becky, what's happening? Is it sorted? And I can play that back to the client. And that's another thing. You have to be very careful when introducing Becky to clients. My name's Don Phillips. I'm good at what I do. I've come to sort your place out with problematic spirits, and I brought a spirit with me to help me. Yeah, talk about big pills to swallow, huh? But nevertheless, it works because over time the people get to hear Becky. And the case in Newcastle, that was a lady that was terrified, also on this channel, told her a demon was after a child attached. So we went round and stuff. And I said, Becky, can you just assure this person that everything's going to be all right? Put the recorder on. Becky said, everything's going to be all right. The woman had tears coming from her eyes because she was so frightened. So yeah, me and Becky are the deadly duo. We can confirm what we're telling people. And also, noteworthy is the fact, every single case I've been on, and I only go on the worst ones, I've never had a person come back and say, you know what, you've been around, but this is happening and that's happening. It stops. It's done. It's dealt with. That, my friends, is Becky. But you know what I'm saying. So that was the first introduction to Becky. Can you take the temperature up? Yes. She met me at the other place, told you all about that. Then obviously Gainer's case drew a lot of attention. It went national, all the newspapers, all the dodgy tabloids in the UK, and they are dodgy anyway, trust me, most of them. So then we got pulled on the, well, actually Gainer got invited onto This Morning show with Philip Schofield and Holly. She rang me up. She says, oh, I've been invited on This Morning show. Fantastic, Gainer. You go for it, girl. She says, yeah, and there's going to be some other guy on there called Chris French. Whoa, on the front page. Chris French from Goldsmiths University in the UK is the skeptic god in the UK. I said, Gainer, with all respect, you're about to be shredded in front of 20 million people live on TV. She says, what do you mean? So I explained, Chris has a role to fulfill. He is the skeptic god. She said, oh, well, will you come on with me? I said, well, do you know what, Gainer? If they want me to come on with you, I will do that because I will defend you from every goddamn corner of this planet because I've been there. The stuff I've recorded, audio, video, I will back you up, Gainer. And this is my reputation as well, which is long earned. Of being trustworthy, honest, sincere, and grounded. Gainer started to get a lot of shit from people with her claims. And you know what? They would be claims. So we got on the show. She spoke to her this morning. She says, well, what about the investigator? Don Phillips, can I bring on with me? Sure. This morning never heard of Don Phillips. But they soon did. We went on the show. And this is the clip.
That's why it can't be this, it can't be that, and everything else. So I'd invite anybody to come down to Gainer's and experience for themselves.
I find it.
We can redo the temperature
Whenever
drop.
you want to,
anything
come
you want.
round, stop it.
Take a crew,
As long as you want.
take a This Morning crew, and go down to the house.
Right.
Because we've got another guest we've got to get to. But I want you guys carry on discussing because I have a feeling we want to take this a little bit.
Yeah, I do.
I'd like to do more of
I've got
this.
some very practical suggestions.
Yeah. And I'd like you to go down and have a look. I'd like you to cruise in wrong, and because I think it's a fascinating on both sides of the argument. It's absolutely fascinating.
I'm amazed I haven't run off set.
Yeah, that in itself is incredible.
Thank you, all of you.
very much.
Let's do it. Let's go down to Gainer's with Don. Take an entire This Morning crew. I thought, do you know what? Game over because I knew. I knew the activity in Gainer's. I knew that this was going to go over 20 million plus viewers. I knew I would have Chris French, the skeptic god. I don't mean skeptic in a negative sense. I'm all for skepticism. That's important. I've said before, part of your toolkit and your work, and it should always be included. But we had a little bit of a problem. It took 6 months to arrange, pretty much. I got down there about an hour before, and then Chris arrived. Fantastic. Hi, Chris. Hi, Don. Brilliant. I'm excited, guys. Can you imagine? I've got the skeptic god there, putting me on the spot. The idea was that Chris joins me in investigation at Gainers for the entirety of the night. And in the morning, Chris can give his view on what's happened, explain things I've captured, or give some alternative explanation. There was a problem. The producer came up. Don, it's 5 a.m. Yeah, okay, what are you going to do? I said, well, we're doing the investigation. Oh, no. No, you got to be out of it at 6 in an hour. What? No, you got it wrong. That's not the plan. No. That's what we've got to do now. So I'm going to assume that Chris's intervention led to that kind of changing our plans. I don't know. I'm just assuming, but not disrespectfully. I said, well, no, you got to leave. No, I'm not leaving. So what I did is I set up a tent in the back garden, and I took external recordings from in the garden, some for which Chris could not explain the next morning, but that's a whole new video. I had 1 hour. They gave me an hour to produce some evidence, some paranormal evidence that Becky was real and what I was claiming was true. An hour. 20 plus million people, and they give me an hour to prove my claims. Wow. So when this went public, a lot of people, I got a lot of emails and instant messages. Don, don't do it. If it don't work, they're going to put it out and you're going to look really stupid. Yeah, I appreciate that. And I know how these things work, especially in the UK, because it's for entertainment purposes only. Not too serious. To the point when I was on the show, which I will be playing at some other point, when I was actually on the show doing an investigation of their studio, because I thought they got a poltergeist. When they interviewed me, I was not allowed to say the word spirit. I was not allowed. I could say ghost because that's fun. I couldn't say spirit. I could not say the word spirit. Wow. And this is a major difference between the UK and the USA. You cannot say the word spirit. Anyway. Everyone was messaging me, Don, don't do it. An hour? You're not going to do it. Okay. I think it was Colbeat or Yvette Fielding actually contacted me and said, yeah, Don, you shouldn't be doing this because it's going to go tits up. Simple solution to that. Becky, can we do this? And will it be successful? Yes. That's all I needed. There was no doubt. Becky's never been wrong about a goddamn thing. So yeah, my balls were firmly on the chopping block. So we went for it. So I thought, an hour. What do I do in an hour? And then I related back to the temperature thing we did right at the beginning when we started this show. If we can replicate that, 10, 18 degrees in 14 minutes, you can't explain that away. Let me tell you something. It takes a forced air central heating system. And anyone out there that deals with central heating will confirm this, I'm sure. 3 hours, and we got one out there, great big massive industrial thing. 3 hours to make a difference of 10 degrees, either up or down. That's an air conditioning system. So you tell me how I achieved to get 16 or 18 degree drop in 14 minutes. I mentioned the fact that I got 20 plus million viewers and an hour to produce something, knowing it was going to go out on national TV, something to substantiate my claims with Becky. So, like I said, I got a lot of people saying, Don, don't do it. If it don't work, you're going to look stupid. I asked Becky, shall we do it? She went, yes. That's all I needed. So, you know what? We did it. So I'm going to play this clip now. It is not the best quality. We probably shouldn't have been filming it sneakily. But, I like to cover my ass.
In the lounge. Don, can you just let us know what it is you're about to attempt to do?
Okay, on the programs a clip showing of me actually getting Becky to drop the temperature, and she could be heard saying yes, and that's going to take it back up again.
Becky is the spirit.
Indeed, yeah. Tonight I'm going to try and replicate that. See if we can get a result. What I tend to do is ask Chris to hold the gun for 5 minutes or whatever, to see if there's any effect on it, temperature dropping, etc.
This is our digital
Yeah,
thermometer.
it's just a standard digital thermometer.
Okay.
Once he's done that, hopefully the temperature won't drop significantly. I'll ask him to hand it back to me, and then I'll do the same, but ask for help and see if I can actually get the temperature to drop.
Okay, right. So what is there anything that you need us to do? Or?
No, just everyone to be quiet, that's all.
Okay.
It could take some time, it can take 10 minutes, it can take 15 minutes, but to now, up to this point, I've done this several times, it's never failed, so I'm hoping tonight, again, we'll be successful with that.
Okay, mate, over to you.
Okay, Chris, shall we grab a seat? Alright, at this point, I don't want this affecting whatsoever. What I'm going to do, Chris, is just let you ask you just to hold that for 5 minutes or whatever, just until we get it, and try not to actually move the gun as well, and just see what temperature we get settled at. Round about, it will fluctuate a degree or two anyway.
What's the sort of normal room temperature?
Well, on there at the moment it's showing around about 63.
Okay.
You have to actually.
How do we keep that?
Sorry, I've got to hold the trigger in.
Right, sorry.
All the time we do this, we have to hold the trigger in. Otherwise, it will change anyway.
So would you expect that, initially it's going to fluctuate a bit while
Yeah, I only want it
and
to
then-
fluctuate
yeah.
between a degree to
Yeah.
3 degrees while you've got it with any long. Okay. And then I want to hopefully it's going to drop significantly more when I get it. So.
Well, it's gone up to 65 then. I think the lowest is about 62. 7.
Right.
Unfortunately, we have to be careful with the pointer as well. If we just move from there to there, obviously we can at least, it can alter it, so that's what the trouble is, hold it in one spot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's just saying 64 at the moment.
Are you happy with me to take it then?
Yeah. It seems to be fairly stable on 64 at the moment. Okay.
Go for again,
Towards me.
Okay, 61.5. Can we get 60? So it's maybe it could take, just to get it. 61.7. Need to come down. That's 60.9. Can we go back to 60? I'm looking for 59, please. It's 60.6 at the moment. $59. 61.7. 60.9. Let's go for 60 at the moment. Looking for 59. 59.1. Almost there. Okay, that's 58. Yeah, and we'll do 57. Okay, that's labelled at 58. And we'll do, right, after 57 now, please. 57.5. Let's go back. 57. Brilliant. 56. That's 56. Can you get to now, Chris? Sorry.
I haven't noticed, but
I'm looking for 56, please. 7.5. 57.0. 56.
so who's actually causing the temperature change? Is it you or is it Becky?
It'd be back here. Okay, it's 56.
So would it work if I were to hold the temperature gauge and you
We can try
ask?
afterwards, absolutely fine. 55. Can we go 55? That's 7. Can we get 54? Four. 54. 54. 55.2. Okay, I'll look at 54. It's almost there. 5.2. 54. Okay, nearly, I think. So, now that seems a table at 54. That's 3. 54.1. Continually going down till again 2.8. That's 51 stabilising. But the lower you go, the more you struggle sometimes, you know. But yeah, to be fair, I'm quite happy, to be honest.
You've definitely seen it drop
Oh
by quite a bit.
Yeah.
It feels colder. I don't know.
It is. If you're
Concentrate
putting your hands
too
here
much.
in front of me where I am now,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's circulating. Cool.
Yeah, it's. I'm concentrating so hard, you know, and you sort of don't.
I think
Yeah,
not to
think, am I-
concentrate, just
Yeah,
don't
no,
think when you
as
just
in-
literally feel, 'cause otherwise then it
Yeah.
feels like you imagine it and everything, but you'll feel the temperature's actually different here, so if you go up the other end of the room now.
Yeah. It's hard to sort of stop myself from willing it. Do you know what I mean? Willing
Yeah,
or
well,
willing.
precisely.
Yeah.
Precisely. I've already explained that portals, and if anyone's not seen the last video I uploaded, you really need to do that because it explains a lot of stuff with some brand new information that you'll only find here. So I advise you to go and look at that thing on the channel. Portals come in many shapes, sizes, and flavors. They can be 5 or 6 foot in diameter that I'm aware of. That's what I'm aware of. And they can be very small. Again, this is why I left the camera running, just in case, and setting up. It captured something quite extraordinary. Some of you that follow me for years will have already seen this clip, but we need to also appreciate people that have never been on this channel before. Take a look at this. Look at the fireplace. What about that? That, ladies and gentlemen, again, is due to a portal, one this small, in the floor, in front of the fire. This has been confirmed by Becky. Unfortunately, this is a copy of a copy of a copy, and each time it got worse. So what you don't actually see is this ball coming out of the carpet, landing on the fireplace, and it actually rolls this far before it disappears. It actually rolls. You can actually clearly see that in the original footage. If I ever find that, which I hope I can, I will put that out. A parapsychologist, not Steve Murray, another one who's a lot below Steve Murray. In fact, a lot, to be honest. When I seen that clip, you went, oh yeah, it's obviously dust. What? Dust. Did you not see that perfect transparent sphere come out of the carpet, which is supposed to hold dust, by the way? It's a long pile of carpet. Did you not see the perfect trajectory as it went like this? Hit the fireplace, and in the original footage I sent him, you could actually see it do this and roll off before it went and disappeared. Dust. Wow. That's all I'm saying. So that was that. And then againers, one night I asked the guys if they could move an object. This is an interesting clip. Let me just pull this one up right now, and then we're going to comments. Okay, I'll put the toy on here. Can you see if you can move it when I come in again, please? All right, Tom. Okay, I'm on my own. So, can somebody speak to me or say something now, please? Anybody here with me? Can you move something? It's fine, I'm just seeing if there's anything around. Just go into this room. Cameras.
Check for the recorder as well. I was going to say nice and bright in here, but it's, what is it really? Night vision.
Oh, earlier.
Yeah.
There's somebody here with me, just in there.
Did you put back puss on there?
Yeah, but what's the point? Who's here with me now? Can you say hello? Keep that running until there's somebody here.
Morning.
Can you give me any lights, please? Let me know you're here. Speaking to this red light for me. Okay, I just heard something there. I'll verify that when we play this part. I definitely just heard a voice to the right hand side of me. Is the lady here with me? If you want to speak to me, I need to see something tonight. Something better than orbs. Well, I'm glad you got the camera on, because you know earlier when I came in,
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to be by the footage and say, I thought I put that there like that and said, if there's anybody here, can you come towards it and everything. But as I actually left, I said, if you're nervous about anything, etc., when I come in again, can you move this? Show me that it's moved. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's gone from there to there. We'll be able to check that on the footage, but that could be interesting.
Should be able to, yeah.
All right. I'm going to put it back here again. See if you can get anything, Tony.
Indeed. Oh! I hate these stairs on my knees, you know. It's very violent there. Interesting. Right. Actually, the recorder's still going, which surprises me.
Just been around all up here just before we came back. Anybody here do this, do that? Nothing.
Garfield hasn't moved, has he?
Not since I put him back again, but it'd be interesting to check, because I'm sure I put him on that side. I'm sure he actually moved. But, well, I say I'm sure. 50-50, I'm not sure. So, my only regret on that is we didn't put a night vision locked off camera. We'd have actually seen the goddamn... I mean, I've got a reputation, you know. I don't lie, I don't embellish, and I don't bullshit. People that follow me for years know that I'm a very, very, very staunch on honesty and transparency. There is no doubt this thing went from there to there in the time we closed the door and locked it off. Or me and Tony went up. The second time we tried it, nothing happened. Wow, how fantastic is that? This takes us into kind of a thing of what are spirits capable of? What we've established so far, and I've established over my years, okay, I have attributes by Becky, which we're going to come into later, in Becky's own words. I've healed animals, which apparently the veterinary surgeon said Ain't gonna happen. Like the dog that would never walk on four legs again and it walked on four legs within 45 seconds. You know, all these clips are on this channel. So any new viewers, check them out. It's a little too much for me to try and explain in this. And all these people, beautiful people that follow me for all these years, I've seen these clips hundreds of times. Occasionally I have to replay some clips and they understand that, but I can't replay all of them, guys, because these guys are going to get really bored and fed up. So we've established, for reasons I don't need to go into at this point, with my union Becky, I can heal animals. I can sense portals. I can take the energy from portals. I can project that energy. Again, this is all on this channel. And I can do lots of things. Some things that are not even been made public yet, but will be this year. But what are spirits capable of? I've had them with flowers, with me holding them. In fact, you know, let me just show you something, guys. I'm going to play you a clip. There was a guy just in a big tour around Germany because he said spirits will move the flowers for him while he's holding them. I thought, okay. And I invited him down to the cellar that I was checking out as part of Skull Experiment 2 with the endorsement of Robin Foy, which never happened for reasons are on this channel as well. I took the flower stems. I didn't just want to hold them like this. It's nothing. People can kind of, you might be able to see that moving now, just slightly. I took the stem of these flowers. This is what I did. I went through there and through there and did that. There's no way that could move. During this time, there was, I mean, this guy was a medium. No disrespect to him at all. And he was making lots of claims at the time. He was saying to the people in my team, can you see this? Can you see etherical rods? Can you see these little blue flashes? And I'm like, and they go, yeah. And I'm like, I can't see shit. What's going on? What's wrong with me? Is it me? Or is, you know? So anyway, it came down to this. Okay, well, let's forget all that. Let me try the experiment. I asked Becky and the guys to help me turn these flowers. Why? I was holding on the stem I've just shown you. Impossible for me to manipulate that. Try it. Impossible. And this is what happened. And then we'll have a little discussion on this. This is not the whole video, guys. This is just little bits and bobs. But this is about what spirits, when you've got the level of respect, trust, and communication. These guys are my family. These are my extended family. I mean, these guys, do you know what, guys? This is not voices on a voice recorder. This is real, unprecedented relationships I've got with these guys and had for many, many years. And in that time, do you think it's been easy? Do you know how long it takes to gain the trust and the respect of these guys? And how long it takes you, knowing what certain things are capable of and manipulation, to gain the trust of them guys. It's a two-way thing. But do you know what? When you hit that pinnacle, it's an amazing world and anything is possible. Let me play that clip right now. I was soon introduced to Patrick from Go Circle. I'd heard that Patrick had recently come back from a tour around Germany displaying spirits moving flowers. I invited Patrick to the cellar, one where I was actually conducting my own experiments, to see if he could give me a demonstration. I was very much looking forward to the evening and remained open-minded, but nevertheless quite willing to be impressed.
As you wish. Do that light out?
Yes.
However, one thing I did notice, there did seem to be quite a lot of suggestion, as in, can you see the etherical rods? Can you see your fingers extending? Can you see the flows moving? And even at one point, it was suggested that one of the members of the team there could actually see blue flashing lights. Being aware of the power of suggestion within a group, especially in such an environment, I was still open-minded, but I was yet to be still convinced. In fact, I was far from convinced at this stage. Other people was claiming they could see this, they could see that. I personally couldn't see anything which was being suggested taking place at all. But maybe that was just me.
On your experiment for a time, and then we'll do the flowers at the end, if you like.
No, let's just do the flowers now, if that's okay.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. If you want me to, can you?
It's just that I've seen this, and I'm quite interested in it.
I'll need the light, the cover card.
Never been given flowers before by a gentleman. It's a first. I'm sorry, can I just interrupt you? Can I just put my fist flat on the table?
Yeah, no, please
Hold
do.
it in the air.
Yeah, no, please do. That's it. Hold it firmly in your hand, on the flat on the table. So that
Just so it doesn't, you know.
yeah. So
It's steady.
there's no artificial what's there. No. Okay, you bring your flowers forward. So if you bring your flowers forward there like this, all three. And if you look closely, you'll actually see it moving.
After several minutes, and in my opinion with nothing actually taking place that was being suggested, I decided to carry on with the experiment in my own way. I asked any spirits there if they could turn the flowers for me, whilst at the same time I remained focused on the objective myself. Things then began to get a little bit interesting. If this was going to work, I wanted to get every chance, but at the same time I wanted to control this experiment as much as possible. I tightly grasped the flower stem in my hand, as tight as I could, passing the bottom end between my two lower fingers, thus making sure no involuntary movement was involved. And at the same time, I decided to hold my fist tight against the tabletop. Can you actually turn these for me? Can you
Twist.
What Patrick's trying to do? Can you twist them?
I can actually see it really move. It's turning
And then-
around now.
Yeah,
I'm
look
going to
like,
say, did you move that then?
can you feel it
Yeah,
turning?
look, it's turning. Look.
Brilliant.
Look at that. It's moving. It's turning. Look. There's no argument about that. It's turning.
That's
Look,
it.
you see it turning?
Yeah.
It's turning in your
Are
hand.
you holding that really tightly?
I can,
Yeah.
I can see the veins in his wrist.
Yeah,
Fantastic. Keep it
spirit are
going.
moving.
That's...
Come on, Peter, move it a little bit more for us.
You couldn't do that
Come on,
without
Spirit.
turning your wrist. His wrist hasn't moved.
Come on, Spirit, move it for us.
Fantastic.
Come on, move it
Well
again.
done.
Move it again. Come on, Spirit. Bless you, friends. Come on.
Come on, kids.
Come on, Peter.
As you can see by my expression and by my breathing, I could actually feel the energy starting to build. It was only at this point things started to happen.
No,
I can vouch.
the flower's still moving. I can see the etheric part moving.
Who's behind me?
No, you've just been touched, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been touched as well. Well, what happens is that they lean across.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
And they're moving it, yeah. So don't worry about it. It can be quite
No,
physical.
It was quite... Well, I didn't feel aggressive.
Still going.
It's still moving.
You're supposed to see blue. I keep seeing blue.
Yes. What you're seeing is you're seeing the etheric rods, which are blue, and when they move, it's like a blue flame. Sometimes you see.
Little flickers of...
That's right.
Yeah.
It flickers and then goes down
I
again.
thought it with my eyes, but...
During the entire evening, the only time I saw any flowers actually turning is whilst they was in my hand. And this being the case, I was totally satisfied that this was possible and no trickery had been involved. But I wanted to take things a stage further. So on having established that that actually worked and the spirits did indeed turn the flowers, I thought, you know what, I need to take this a stage further. Let's take away the human aspect. So let's put these flowers in a vase, stand back and say, guys, can you turn these flowers for me? And they did. In fact, a very nice young lady called Tiffany, when I said, who did that? She said, it's Tiffany. And she went, it's cold. A few days later, I returned to the cellar to push things a little further. I have on occasion made certain requests of spirit people, and it's yielded results. This time, based similarly on the experiment we just conducted, would it be possible for the spirits to turn the flowers without any physical contact? If you can actually get them to twist, turn, move, or even chuck the bloody things out of the pot, that's fine by us, but anything that you can do will be appreciated and of great help to us right now. As assuming this would be quite difficult for them, I was taken off guard. I set up the night vision camera. I wasn't even sure if it was recording at the time, but immediately upon my request, the flowers began to turn.
Hold on. Fantastic. That is turning, isn't it?
That's just turned.
That has just turned.
That has just turned.
Can you keep turning it?
Turn it again.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, guys,
That is wicked.
I'll leave the light off because it might interfere with it. Is the camera on now? I'm buzzing now, so on it.
Hey, yeah. Keep it turning.
Keep it turning, guys. Oh, it's not on it. They continued to turn, either without my knowledge, bearing in mind we was in total night vision. It was pitch black, and I couldn't see a damn thing.
Is it turning towards me? Keep turning it.
The camera wasn't on it, I know.
That wasn't mine.
Looking for further confirmation that is indeed what had happened, the help from the spirits, I asked who had just turned those flowers for me. The reply that came back was Tiffany. It has often been claimed paranormal phenomena is too elusive for science to test. It is my experience that even more elusive are the scientists themselves to test the phenomena. In the meantime, you know where to find me. And then I went to the Old Black, an investigation at the Old Black Lion. Reported poltergeist activity. My eyes are watering now. I tried to speak to the poltergeist, and I said, if there's a poltergeist here, can you just say the word yes? He did a lot more than that. Then I went up into the attic, and we got this absolutely amazing light just appeared in the darkness. It just appeared from absolutely nowhere with no known source, and it disappeared. This is actually quite an incredible clip, so I'm going to load that up now.
You can close that door for us any time in the next few minutes, please. Feel free to do so. If you're willing to do that, can you just give me a yes, but a clear one, hopefully, so people can hear.
Look, thank you.
Okay. Oh.
What do you think about that, guys? Now, do you know what? If I was viewing that on somebody else's footage, I would say, oh, yeah, there could have been someone behind the door doing this. There was seriously nobody behind the door doing that. I've got a reputation to protect. I wasn't even expecting it to happen. Otherwise, I'd put a camera in the bathroom facing that actual door from the inside. Can you just say yes? And the door opened and closed. And what about that light in a pitch black attic? I just put a camera up there and left it for a little while because I had a bit of a feeling, see if we can capture anything. Boy, did we capture something. What do you think about that, guys? Impressive? I think so. We do a lot of amazing things. I've got so much admiration for these guys and such a relationship with these guys. It really is truly unprecedented what we can actually achieve and the stuff that we do together. Right, okay, guys, so now we're going to get to some pretty interesting stuff. The production company has been over to the UK this week. And do you know what? I don't know if I'm at liberty to discuss the show, the name, the platform, but this is going to be going out all over America and the UK. So until such times as I know that I am okay to give people the full heads up on it, and then I like to ease on the side of caution, because these people don't mess about, and it's to do with professionalism. But they spent the week in the UK going over some of my previous cases, interviewing people that work with me. And you know what? Credibility, these guys are fantastic. They're not taking anyone's word for it. They are pushing and pushing and pushing, and I welcome that. Even on the, just wow. Yeah, they have so much credibility over so many years that they're not interested in stories or fantasists or claims. They're interested in stuff which is proven. I really welcome that. I've got such a huge platform. I mean, I've been in the UK for years. Lots of stuff in the newspapers, which eventually I went, no, I'm not doing anymore, because they misreport stuff and things get taken out of context. Then I come to the USA. I move here, Seattle area. Just under a year, boom. Wow. Wow, Don, that's amazing. Blah, 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 blah. But you know, these guys, they dig deep. They dig right down. They're not interested in what you're claiming. They want to hear from other people. They want to know what can be scientifically proven to the point. And you know what, guys, this is super exciting. And I hope they do it. Me and Steve Murray are going to wire me up, brain activity, this, that, how things affect my body. You want to get the blast on the portal and everything. Because then we have total scientific proof of what's going on. Not what I'm claiming it is. I can't claim it. I can't prove it's a spirit portal. But then again, they're not going to be able to answer where this energy's come from, or how Don can do what he can do. In which case, then my answer has got to be more relevant than their non-answer. So the production company, they came over to see me. The producer and the executive producer, we went for dinner. It was fantastic. Lovely, lovely people. Sincerely, lovely people. And I'm guarded with production companies. I've dealt with them in the past. But these people are great. And I said, you know what, yeah, me and Steve, we wanted to get the old helmet thing on and measure my ECG brain activity when I'm doing my thing, and how it affects my different parts of my body, my heart, my skin, and everything. And they said, yeah, we should do that. Fantastic. Guys, have you any idea how much that means if we can show scientifically what's taking place in my body when I'm absorbing stuff from portals, projecting energy, moving objects and things? That is a big one. So that's one of the things they're looking at right now. And that I welcome. But you know what? I'm in the right place now. I'm in America. I am going to rip the goddamn lid off the Pandora's box. I am going to get credibility and acknowledgement and proof of these guys scientifically, and also of my own abilities, which have already been substantiated. We've been doing paranormal research for 150 years. What has anybody actually learned which we can put as factual? The only factual thing is, yeah, there's something unexplained. That is it. In 150 years, it's unexplained. There's theories and everything, but it's unexplained. Do you know what? I'm not being funny, but there's no kid on the block. And I'm with Becky. And we are going to kick ass, guys. We are going to make a difference. We are going to turn that tide. We are going to put credibility back into the paranormal field. We are going to challenge science. And we're going to do all that this year. As Becky once said to me, she said, it's all about timing. And there's a reason for everything. There's a reason for everything. Yeah, do you know what? Like I said before, I'm a bit of a big pill to swallow for some people. But these are not claims. These are claims that have to be substantiated. And we've already done that on several levels. Several levels. The blind envelope thing test that I did with Steve Murray, you know what? Designed by the Ryan Institution was one envelope, and they had a dubious pass rate of 0.0 something percent, and that was dubious. I was set up to fail by Steve. He didn't give me one envelope, he gave me 3. I spoke to the guys, we passed it. Bells, whistles, and flying colours. So do you know what I've said to the production company? And the mathematical probability of that is crazy. So check this out. I like to push the boundaries. So I said to them and Steve, do you know what? Forget the one envelope, forget the 3. Let's do 20, 50, or 100. I don't care, because if it works, it works. Because we need to shock people. We need to draw attention to get our message out and make people pay attention. And the only way you're going to pay attention, get people to pay attention, is not by replicating stuff everybody's doing or making claims like everybody's doing. Is to push the boundaries. And that's what we're going to do this year, guys. You will not believe the experiments I've got set up and what is coming this year. The production company I'm dealing with, I've been asking the people in the UK, they've been doing the interviews, and I think they've interviewed Gunnar as well. But Gunnar's not going to give you any more details than me, so do not ask, because that's how it works. Who is Becky? What is Becky? How does Don do the things that it does? So I already know all this, but at the end of the day, it's not for me to speak to Becky, it's for her to speak for herself. So the first question, Becky, you can draw conclusions from this as much as you want, but this is what she said. I'm going to play this clip where she said, "You are part of me." Absolutely fascinating. Becky, what kind of being are you? If we was to put a label on you, you are part of me. Take it, leave it, do what you want with it, guys. But you know what? When I've said my union with Becky, I mean my union with Becky. She is a part of me, and I am a part of her. And that's what enables me to do what I do, which again is unprecedented. You can put a label on it, you can question it, but you know what? My work speaks for itself. For the better good, as Becky said. For details, I'm not going to go into, but there's something going on. In the meantime, let me give you a little bit of background. So Guns, aka Ian Gunner, he was a host of Stafford FM radio, or Staffordshire FM, one of the two. I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong. He was a little bit curious. So he said, "Hey, Don, can I come out on an investigation with you?" I said, "Yeah, sure." On the way, we went to this couple's place. We were experiencing lots of paranormal activity, pretty frightening. So on the way, we were kind of talking. And Gunnar said, "Do you know, I got to be honest, I'm a little bit of a skeptic." My reply to Gunnar and people like Gunnar was, "Gunnar, not a problem. Do you know what? Just tell it exactly as you find it." That's all I ask of anybody. That's what I said to Steve Murray. That's what I said to Robert Young. That's what I said to every person that I've actually worked with. Tell it as you find it. I don't need to convince anybody of anything. Just tell it as you find it. So, well, who's this dodgy guy with this dodgy hat? With this dodgy
Should I stop eating these sweets?
In the UK.
Hey, mate. Can you hear me okay?
I think that might be Guns. How are you, pal?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm always good, mate.
Apart from it
not to be. We've got to be.
Apart from it being about 5 a.m.
Really, really annoying. And I honestly do not know how I can get rid of this at the minute.
Okay, what are you using?
I've got to do something with this because otherwise I'm not going to be able to hear you. Am I? Hold the front page. I have an idea. I have an idea. Gunnar, introduce yourself to our people. Tell them our relationship, how it started. You've got a 5-minute window, which is a hell of a lot. Okay? I'm going to mute my mic so there's no echo. You can just host and rehost the whole show right now for a full 1 to 5 minutes.
So me and Don have been dating for about 4 years.
Okay. See you, Gunnar.
Shoot me.
Bye. Hold on a second. Let me mute my mic. Hang on a second. Hold on.
Did I first meet you? I think you invited me out, wasn't it? And we went on to Devon, I think it was, for an investigation. And I think we drove for about 4 hours. And me and you kind of chilled and chatted basically in the car. And I think the very first thing that you said to me, as you were just sort of mentioning there, was call it like you see it. I said to you that on the radio show, we liked to pick apart the mystery. We like to understand the mystery, and we searched for the real answers within that mystery. And I think you said to me, just call it like you see it, basically. Come with me, see what you say, see what you see, and report it honestly, because I think what you told me, Don. Or report what I find. About 4 years later, here I am, still telling that story. Still badgering you to put out some of the information that you don't put out. Still telling you there are some of these cases and some of these bits of information that are unbelievable, but the public don't see it, bud. And I know Keys was saying there just previously, I've seen it with my own eyes, mate. I know what you get up to. I know how much stuff that you don't include in some of the videos that you show. I know how long it's taken you to talk about some of that stuff. So this is about 4 minutes in. If you don't want me to give away all the secrets, you just come back online, not disappear outside for a cigarette, leaving me hosting for you. So should we take some questions? Don's favourite colour is blue. I'm joking. I don't know if it is or not. Oh, Don, you've got to at least give me permissions to chat to people. So I think the first time that we went down to that location, we drove down and I was with you all the way. I know that we were basically following sat-nav. You'd never been there, in my opinion, as far as I was aware. We turned into the road and there was a long line of trees along the side. We went inside, spent however long it was there. You were doing the paranormal investigation. There wasn't loads. I think you spoke to the lady, you kind of calmed her down, made her feel a bit more comfortable. And we went outside for a cigarette. And while we're outside for the cigarette, you had one of these blasts of energy and you started walking up and down what was the end of her sort of bungalow car park next to this kind of line of trees that we couldn't see through. And you were saying, there's an underground space here. There's dead people here or something like this. There's bodies. And I'm thinking, this guy's a weirdo. He's dragged me 4 hours into the middle of nowhere. We've got no recordings, no information. And he's now telling me that he's got an underground. No, I'm joking. So you told me about the underground space. And I thought, okay, fair enough. That's a bit of a wild claim. It is what it is. As we drove off and we went to come back, we got to the end of the road and I looked left behind the sort of pack of trees that we'd gone past. And behind it was a churchyard and a graveyard. And that instantly made me think, because I know for a fact you didn't see it. I travelled with you, I sat next to you in the car, and I know that neither of us had seen that churchyard. Now, was it the case that there were bodies underneath that bit of the ground? I can damn believe it from my own research. We couldn't confirm it, but I could damn believe that it'd be true. But the interesting thing was the church was behind it. And I think that was my first bit of evidence of like, hang on a minute, that could have been chance. It could have been much more. And I think in the last few years that we've been out, Don, I've seen a way load more. Way load. I don't know.
Anyway, okay.
I've had these plenty of times.
How are you?
How am I? It's 5 a.m. I'm all right.
Yeah, I know. It's late. What the hell are you doing, dude?
I'm all right. I was chilling out. I was doing some research and I kind of got to get into bed and then you came on. So 2 hours later, here I am, mate. Listen in.
Here you are. Okay. So anyway,
this wasn't how this was supposed to happen.
Guys, I'm sorry about the echo. I need to know how much echo people are hearing because I'm trying to minimize my sound as much as I can.
I can hear it in the background, but it's all right.
YouTube, I set the time to start, and it didn't actually start when it was supposed to at 6 o'clock. I was talking to myself going through the whole thing for 35 minutes.
Dude, that's where I came in.
You're not
that's
there.
That's where I came in.
I'm not there. I wasn't there. How crazy is that? These people was waiting for over half an hour later, as far as they're concerned. It was just
This is a man that can talk to spirit in most conditions, but
crazy.
can't operate Facebook.
Okay, guys. So this is the thing. Go on, stay online. See what you think. So, have you heard of the Litians before?
The who? Are you asking me?
You have to nod because I've turned the sound right down. So just when you're talking to me, you've never heard of the Litians. Okay, so several years ago, you can hear me clearly though, without any echo. Yeah, fantastic. It was 10 years ago. It was terrible conditions, pretty much like it is now. And you know, the conditions really affect stuff. I've gone into great detail about that. And I'm talking to the guys, and it's like, it's really hard to hear them. Also, this big voice came in. Wow, this is shocking. This is shocking. This recording will be shocking to you, trust me. I said, who the hell is that? Because it was loud, it was concise, it was clear, and it was basically static free. And now, bear in mind, I've been in there for in my old workshop several years ago, trying to talk to the guys, and it's like really hard to hear them because of the conditions. We are the Litians.
I've not heard that.
What?
Hang on. What do you mean, what?
I just wanted to tell Gunnar I miss him.
Oh, that's Paddy. She said she misses you, dude. Okay, you can go now. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Is that it? You didn't bring me any coffee, nothing nice. You just came all the way out here to say good morning.
Yeah.
Okay, just go away. I'm annoyed. I'm totally annoyed. She's a great girl. I mean, she got it.
Bless.
Fantastic. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying. We are the Litians. And you'll hear from their voice when I play it in a minute. That's what it sounds like. We are the Litians. Now, what stood out to me was the fact that I'm struggling to hear spirit voices. And these guys just come and say, we are the Litians. As clear as that. I'm like, wow. So Becky, or Litians or Litians. I can only go on what it sounds like. Okay. Becky, who the hell is the Litians? Oh, actually, let me backtrack. This went right back to the old black line. I was going around, and the first voice I got was, we are the Litians. Litians? What kind of goddamn name is that? And I was actually researching the Litians as a surname. Couldn't find anything. I thought, that's weird. Left it at that. And this was about 3-4 months after that. I'm in a workshop. We are the Litians. Loud, clear, concise. What the beep, you know? Because I was struggling to hear the guys because it was raining, it was cold, it was the worst. Becky said, they see and hear everything. You know how she talks, Becky? The Litians, they see and hear everything? What the bleep is going on? And then they came in and they went, we see and hear everything. Okay. Because I'm thinking at this point, you know, the Watchers kind of a scenario. You know what I mean, Gunnar?
Mm.
I had this full half-an-hour conversation with the Litians. But me being me and doing this all the time is no big deal. I didn't keep the recording. How stupid am I? That was all them years ago. That was, what, 10 years ago, 12 years ago? Oh, my goodness me. Gunnar, I'm sitting here talking to the guys last night, struggling to hear. All of a sudden, this voice comes in, and I was talking about portals. This voice came in. Oh, the first one was, I think I've got that clip loaded. It said, Litians. And then the second thing, I'm talking about portals. And they said, you will see it first. And it is clear as that. And I'm like, what? The Litians seem to operate outside the normal parameters of a spirit person. When the energy is low, it doesn't seem to affect them. They've got this very, very loud voice. Is it to do with UFOs? Is it to do with spirits? I don't know who the bleep the Litians are. I have no idea. This is something totally new. And at that half-hour window, and I didn't keep the footage because I do this all the time. And my God, I wish I did, because we had a full half-an-hour conversation. And they was talking about planets and all sorts of stuff. This is the thing. Last night, I was talking to the guys, trying to strain my ears to hear. Let me play a recording My first question to the Litians, and you tell me if you can hear this clearly, and you people, okay, you're the Litians, so what is your reason? What is your agenda? Good question.
Let's go.
This raises a lot of questions, specifically because it's pretty clear what they're saying. Let me find this clip. Hold on. The Litians. Now, people that follow me for years will have already heard of the Litians, right? Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. To change the planet. That's what they say. Their objective is to change the planet. What does that even mean? So take a listen to this clip now. Oh, I see your face. It went like this. It went.
Wow.
Could you hear to change the planet?
Not only could I hear change. What did you say was change the planet?
I muted it so I don't echo. Let me play it one more time. Let's be fair.
That's a different voice, isn't it?
They are a totally different voice.
Not only that,
people.
I don't know what the listeners, because I've been out with you, dude, and I've heard enough, and I think it's like an acquired taste. I don't think it's too easy to hear all the time. I think you're great at interpreting it. I don't think you get it right all the time.
So let's move on.
But that was an interesting voice, buddy.
It gets more interesting.
Have you got more?
Are you ready for this? Let me just check this.
Okay. I'll show up. I won't give any comment. I'll show up and listen to it.
Let me just check the comments. To fix the planet, Athena said. Well, change the planet, fix the planet. Okay, but it's still pretty much along the same thing. The clip is so consistent with what we have by UFO abduction research. Okay. Would love to hear Becky's response to the watchers. Okay. Okay. Now, here's the kicker. Can you hear me clearly? So I'm asking Becky a question. The viewers and you are going to just go, what? I've said the Litians do not seem to require the same energy field as the guys to speak. That was nothing. I mean, that was absolutely, on a scale of 1 to 10, that was a 1. Get ready for this next reply. I said, Becky, you know that I will say, Gunner's also been involved in this big production thing that's going on. Look at that smile. He loves that shit. Because I pulled you in. Because you're worthy. And because they think you're fantastic. So you've already been interviewed by these people.
Yes, I've spoken to them.
And you're excited. That's what you need to do.
That's
what you need to. No, go on. You just need to go.
I can't say too much.
No. Stop. You just need to go. There it is. So I'm talking to Becky about a place we need to go back to, where a massive portal opened, where I'm getting a super blast of energy, and the production company was suggestive of wiring me up, brain activity, and everything. So I'm asking Becky about, will a portal open again? Because we need that. Scientific, data-wise, we need that. I press play, waiting to hear Becky. Wow. Are you ready for this?
Let's go.
Now you tell me how much these differ to Spirit Boys, how strong and powerful these guys are. This is pretty mind-blowing stuff. What I'm interested to know, the portal that was there last time we went, guys, Becky, if we go again, are we there for the whole period? Will that portal open again? If it will, because I need it to. Can you say portal? Just that one word. Thank you. Okay, he said something totally different, which happens sometimes. And that's not Becky, so that's one of the guys. See what you've got to say, my friend. Don't know what that was at the end, but let's play from the beginning. What about that?
Dude, that's super weird.
Is that something?
That's super weird.
Guys, what do you think to that? How loud, concise, and powerful was that? Gunnar, did you hear that?
I did hear that.
How
I did
crazy
hear that.
was that?
And I can tell you straight away, it wasn't Becky.
Huh?
It wasn't Becky. It sounds like a male voice.
Oh, no, it wasn't Becky. I was expecting Becky. It wasn't Becky.
Well, so what do you think about the difference in the strength?
Hold on a second.
Because, as we were mentioning before, Becky's quite soft.
Say it again.
Becky's quite soft, isn't she? That was
Yeah,
quite like a pressure and a forcefulness of the voice.
There's a clear distinction. What I'm saying is there's a clear distinction between a spirity people when it's low energy, which it is because of the time of year and the conditions, and that you'll see it first. Can you make a clear distinction between the spirit voices and something that's not spirit voices like that?
Yeah, 100%.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
There's a. It reminded me of Somewhere Done.
But you know what? People
that I can't speak about.
That is the Litians who have not been around for the last 12 years. They suddenly just popped in there. They don't rely on energy. They're just loud and clear. Now, this is the important thing on it. I have never made an association between spiritual because, well, there's kind of, they see and hear everything. Okay, well, that's pretty scary. That's like the Watchers kind of territory. But when you've got something like that, Becky's powerful, you know that. She struggles when there's low energy. These guys, energy has nothing to do with it. They want to talk, they just talk. You will see it first. Wow.
Yeah, and it's really strong as well.
For the first time, because I was talking about portals and they said that, there's a link between, I mean, they obviously know about portals. So what are they? Are they alien beings? Are they spiritual? If they're spiritual, how different are they spiritual from spirits? Because there's a distinct difference going on here. And bearing in mind, it's Becky that said, even before they answered years ago, I said, Becky, when they went, we are the Litians. In fact, I think I've got a clip on there when they said that again last night. I'm going to have a look at it in a minute. Becky, who the hell are the Litians? She said, they see it.
It's like the question is a different bit of the audio.
How and why? To what purpose? And then we got this whole thing to change the planet, the objective to change the planet. Do you know what? This is what I love is, it don't matter how many years I do this or what amazing things I perform with Becky. Occasionally I get blown away, and I got blown away last night because that was something other than normal spirit people. That's a whole different thing.
What do you think it is?
But
have you had any feelings, or have you asked Becky?
You guys, We're pushing the boundaries. We've opened that Pandora's box. And you know, as well as I do, it's pretty limitless what might come out of that.
What do you think it is?
I'm not even going to mention the word Cough Island. That's for viewers another day, but that was.
Can I ask you a question?
Becky, I've never been on so much form, both of us together, because oh my God.
It had that the viewers won't know what we're talking about, and they might if they see something in the future. But that's instinctively, that straight away, that's what it reminded me of. It's like there was quite a depth to the voice. It comes through in a different part of the noise or the audio almost. Like I say, Becky's quite high but quite soft. That's quite forceful. There's quite a pressure to it, and it's sort of almost undeniable in that respect. It's like sometimes you can be listening through the noise, trying to pick stuff up, trying to interpret what's being said. It's not always clear. That comes through, and you're like, phew. And that reminded me of somewhere, which I think you just mentioned.
That week in Ireland was a total setup. I was set to fail at every single hurdle.
How much do the viewers watching know about it?
Oh my God!
So, because from my perspective, and I won't give too much away. You were asked to go to Ireland to perform a series of tests over the space of 5 days. You were completely blind. And I was with you, mate. I was with you all the way. You had no idea where you were going, no idea where each investigation was, no idea whether it was inside or outside, whether it was underground or overground, whether it was in the sky or in the sea. We didn't know anything. And the person who was conducting the test took a lot of satisfaction in not giving a single thing away. There was one part of the investigation where I wouldn't say it was a setup, but you were clearly tested to see if you would make the mistake of people who think they're mediums. Would you come out and deliver a ghost where there wasn't a ghost, potentially? From my perspective, for the viewers listening, the viewers watching, most mediums operate somewhere between 60 to 80% accuracy. I think you were well over 95% that week. In fact, I struggled to find which bits you got wrong. And if you do get parts of that wrong, it was probably based around conditions, situations, struggling to interpret, struggling to hear, all that sort of stuff, or just the sheer madness of the information being so difficult to understand and difficult to kind of weave apart, that it was just confusing as heck. But the accuracy was unbelievable. And dude, this stuff's on video as well. There's stuff on your YouTube channel about it, where you jumped out of the car and you accurate. Oh, the person was taken as. Should I shut up?
You know, it's a whole story. Do you know what I'm gonna?
It's a whole show. That is.
Yeah, it is. I've never even edited it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, mate, I'm going to say, Gunnar, thank you for being on the show. I'm going to kick you out now.
I nearly said too much. That's what it was. That's what it was.
I couldn't hear what you said. It looked offensive. Okay. All right, pal. So go. You're dealt with. You're finished. You've done your bit. Good to see you, pal. Do you know what? I'm coming over to the UK soon. We're going to do some shooting with the TV Hollywood production people. Look forward to catching up with you then.
Yeah, good man.
Good man.
Nice one, buddy. Take it easy.
Get some goddamn sleep. It was 5+ a.m. in the UK now. I know, dude. I know.
Super.
All right, Gunnar. That's Gunnar. Ian Gunnar. Absolutely fantastic guy. I've got to say that. He's watching. But I'll catch you soon, dude.
Cheeky. Dude. Ta-da, man.
Take care, Gunnar.
Ta-da.
Bye-bye. Okay. What is going on in this goddamn echo tonight? I have no idea. Let's just go to the comments. So that was the Litians. And how weird is that? The objective to change the planet. To change the planet. And also the differential between them and normal spirit people is just, wow. 2 worlds apart. The guys need energy to speak, to be loud and be concise. They just come in there. You'll be the first to see it. You can imagine? And you know what, guys? It's been 10, 12 years since I've heard from the Litians. People that follow me all that time will know of what I said about the Litians way back. Steve Marrow, particularly, will be interested in the Litians because we do not know who they are. They're obviously not normal spirit people that rely on energy. They see and hear everything. They can pop in at any time, and they are loud and they are powerful. I have no idea who the Litians are. It's another one of them thousands of lines of inquiry that I've got to follow. But you know what? This is the Supernatural Files. This is what we do. We get the opportunity to follow the lines of inquiry nobody else has got. We have the opportunity to find answers to questions nobody else can. And this is why our work is important. Case, their perspective by planetary interrogation, for better or worse, from our perspective, maybe as they've also done clandestine and don't really know. Athena, it's like the Adjustment Bureau. The Litians. Athena, I am aware of who the Watchers are. Yeah, that's our assumptive perception of what's been written about the Watchers. But do you know what? We have a opportunity to actually find out exactly what the situation is. So that's something I'm going to be covering over the next few weeks. George, it's almost like a master course in the paranormal. Yeah, you know what? I should charge money, George. I should charge money. Pent, didn't you say that on your other channel, Litians Communication? Do you know what? I'm not sure. My old channel goes back a long time, and I was doing stuff a long time before I started putting it onto YouTube, to be honest. And do you know what? Now, if I actually kept all the interactions that I'd had with all these different beings, good, bad, and indifferent, wow. But do you know what? You got to understand that I do this every single day. And to me, it's not a struggle to get a communication with anything apart from the environmental condition. So therefore, I don't feel compelled, I've got to save that, I've got to save that. I don't have to do a 12, 24-hour investigation and do an EVP session to get something that goes to put subtitles on it. So I've got pretty relaxed in my approach. And yeah, from now on, I'm going to start saving a lot more stuff, especially now I've got the TV land interested in my work. So yeah. There's the stuff I've thrown away in the past, but it just, I didn't want to go there. Right, George. Oh, we've done that one. Pent. Oh, done that one. Wild Focus. Welcome. Don, can you talk about the limits of Becky's knowledge? That's a good question. What are the limits of Becky's knowledge? Mr. Wild Focus. I have to be honest. I have no idea. I have not got a clue. We do know that Becky can see so far into the future. I live my life, and Patty does now, by Becky. I ask her about things, and we do what she says, basically. And this goes way back. I mean, you know, even 2020, Patty had actually booked a flight to come back to the US. She came out to see me. And Becky gave me a strong blast. Put the recorder on. And trust me, it was so clear. Don't get on the plane. Wow. Don't get on the plane. Now, this was at the height of COVID. This was 2020, before there was any vaccines or anything, and people were being buried in parks and dropping like flies all over the place, dying everywhere. And I have never ever questioned Becky. Why, Becky? Why not? If she said, don't get on the plane, there was a reason for it. And do you know what? The plane didn't crash and nobody died, so we can only assume that Becky had the foresight to see Patty would have contracted coronavirus if she got on that flight. So consequently, Patty changed her tickets. And if we go back maybe 9-10 months ago, because of the COVID thing, I do all the shopping. I go everywhere. I don't want Patty out where she don't need to be, because I wanted to protect her against all this crap that's going on. And I went out daily, Fred Meyer's, Walmart, wherever. This one particular time, I was just going out to a little shopping list. What do we need? Got a little buzz off Becky. She said, don't go out today. Okay, I'm not going to go out today. As simple as that. Not why, Becky. I just did not go out. Went out the following day, no problem. And it was probably a couple of months after, for the first time, I questioned Becky. Becky, why? There was going to be an accident. I would have had an accident in my car which may have resulted in my death. That's the short version. Who else has got that? Who else in this entire world has got that? Me and Becky are on a mission. We have an objective. This includes me, Becky, Patty, everybody I'm involved with. And it would appear that Becky will do everything she can goddamn do to make sure we stay on that path to achieve our objectives. One time I did an investigation in Liverpool. I had 3 hours sleep the night before. I drove to Liverpool, which is about 100 plus miles from where I lived in the UK. I did a 24-hour investigation at this fantastic place. And actually, the first time I actually saw an apparition, a person, a little boy. Fantastic. Then I drove back, and I was about 20 miles away from Leicester, where I used to live. And you know, it's like, oh, and you open the window, you've got the music on, you have a smoke, you have a drink, and just all of a sudden I got this major belt. I went, guys, I was going off the road. I was just about to veer off the embankment. I was asleep. I'd gone. And it was only Becky, that blast, that energy that made me, and I just did this. I was that far from going off the edge of the road at 80 miles an hour. So do you know what? Not to put too fine a point on it, people like Brian Allen, people that do not understand Becky, how do you know she's what she is? Now, the thing is, everybody always leans to she's something bad because they don't know what she is. They always lean that way. How do you know what she is? I got to say this, using a label. If Becky is demonic, she's got to be the best behaved demonic person, spirit I've ever known, because we work for the better good. We help animals. We help people. She actually saved my life that time. She gives us a heads up. She keeps us safe. She told Becky not to get on the plane, me not to go out that day. She told us to go to the tree to deal with that bad stuff that me and Becky did together. Does that sound something bad? And then you get people, this was, 5-6 years ago. Don Phillips, you don't know what you're messing with. And you're going to burn in hell. This is the situation. Me and Becky are for the better good. And my attributes and everything we do is positive for the aid of others. If Becky's a demon and she's deceiving me, and I spend the rest of my life helping people, doing this, healing animals and everything else, and she's a demon and I go to hell, you know what? If I go to hell for being the best person I can be, I will deal with that at the time. But I can assure you, Becky is quite the opposite without going into details. But people fear what they do not understand, or they don't understand it, it's automatically something deceptive. No. There is more deceptive people in this whole planet that we surround ourselves with than there is in the spirit world. That's from experience, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree. In the meantime, right, well, my friends, we're going to draw this to a close shortly. I'm going to check if there's any more clips that we need to do. Limits of Becky's knowledge, I have no idea of her limits. I don't honestly. She seems to know what's going to happen. She guides us in the right direction from the path of danger. You know, I remember when that happened, Serpent. Why have you kept so much back from your earlier investigations, Kevin? I've got an old channel. It just says Don Phillips. Some of that stuff I'm now introducing on this channel, which might be the first time that you've actually seen it. But there is a lot of stuff I don't put out publicly because all at once, I'm a hard pill to swallow. So I tend to put things out gradually over a period of time. revelations over a period of time, because this is the public. The public is cynical. The public is suspicious. The public has been attuned to bullshit, lies, conjecture, wishful thinking, YouTube fake videos for so long. I've worked my ass off to stand away from what I call, without being disrespectful, public paranormal. Like, oh, there's a face in that orb, and somebody saying, oh, it's a man, he's desperate, he's looking for his wife. I'm not interested in that. And this is why I don't use labels. Yeah, you know what? I've got super mediumistic abilities, well beyond that. I don't want to use the word or label medium because there's a lot of shit associated with that. I don't want to use the word psychic or the label psychic because there's a lot of shit associated with that. Oh, I'm a psychic. People go, oh, okay, here's another one. No, do you know what? My label is this. Don Phillips, this is who I am. This is what I do. Take it, leave it, do what you want with it, period. And I'm happy with that. I don't need a label. Okay, so Kevin, I will always keep stuff back from investigations, earlier and current, because some things are not for public, because you know what? Things have to be digested slowly over a long period of time. Thanks, Don. Wild Focus. Could Becky assist you by putting visual information in your mind, or is it just verbal? Okay, big question. Visual information in my mind. I didn't put this out publicly, but Steve Mara will be aware of this, and my amazing wife, Paddy, will be aware of this. Yes, she does. One such instance was this, was at the tree. If you've not seen that footage, it's online during the Paranormal Debate 2016. Just check that out with Steve Mara and a lot of people. Me and Becky was dealing with something, let's just call it bad. As I was walking back to the car, I got a flash of what actually transpired to do with infants at that tree. That's all I'm saying. Then I lost my temper. My adrenaline went out and I went straight back at the tree and we dealt with it. And when we dealt with it, there was nothing after. It had all ceased. It was gone. It was just, So the short answer is yes. Now, Steve Mara is also aware of something I've not put out publicly, I don't think. Periodically, I will get, how do I put this? This is difficult, guys, to explain. I still probably explain it better. I get a, when you're falling asleep and you're just about to fall into that dream state and you start seeing things that look real. It's kind of like that. But I'm wide awake. I'm driving my car and I get a 2 to 5 second flash of something which makes no sense whatsoever. And again, this is attributed to my union with Becky, and it made no sense at the time whatsoever. The first time was, and I told Steve about this, is going back quite a way now. It was like this guy and his woman or wife in the kitchen having a conversation. Lasted about 3 seconds. It's like, what? What does that mean? It's not relevant. So I kind of, whatever. This went on for a little while until, let's just say now they get more relevant. And I actually believe that someone in some way, somehow was actually testing whether that could actually be a thing with me. Because now these very rare, but they happen, Paddy knows this, flashes are of significance, let's say, which Steve Mara is also aware of. So I don't know if I was being tested at the time to see how far we could be pushed or whether it would work, but it works. It's relevant. That's all I'm going to say about that right now. There'll probably be more about that throughout the year, but you know what? Yeah, that happens occasionally. Straight out of a Hollywood movie, I know. But you know what? Like I keep saying, there is an exception to every rule. And on the supernatural files, you know what? You found it. You know, Paddy knew I was a little bit weird before we got married. She probably thinks I'm even weirder since we've been married. Bless her heart. Oh, my goodness me. Kevin, I followed you from the beginning. Okay, Kevin, so you will understand the journey and you will have also seen my incremental progress throughout the years. Keys, I'm so excited and pleased to be alive in 2023, especially as this research progresses. Well, do you know what? This is not just words. This research is going to progress beyond anything anyone's ever done before. And why? Because I can, and I'm in a position to do it. Gunnar, I've seen you accurately read most situations we've been in, seen you identify types of spirits in minutes and seen the evidence after. If Becky wasn't who she said she is, I'd expect you to know. Yeah, I have a deeper knowledge of Becky than what is out publicly. Now, you know what? I'm going to get to a clip in a minute. But Brian Allen, great guy, author. He did some research trying to track down Becky. Couldn't find her. Oh, wow, red flag. This is the thing. And this is what I'm going to say on this subject. Do you not think, and I expect the production company to do the same, look for Becky Michaels, died 1985. Do you not think Becky would know people were going to be looking or finding, trying to find out about who she is, her life, and everything else? Guys, just like me, just like you, Becky is entitled to privacy, total. Why should her whole being be there for people to investigate, to blog about, and everything else? If she don't want that, that's fine. So all I'm going to say is this. Becky knew people would want an explanation as to who Becky is. So I'm just saying, if Becky decided to create a persona to satisfy people's curiosity, other than what she is or who she is, that's Becky's business. There is no doubt Becky is not a normal spirit. And because of my union with Becky, as Becky said, you are a part of me, as in I'm a part of her. That makes me kind of not like a normal person. But you know what, guys? You got to suck it up and deal with that. And there's always going to be questions that I can't answer. And I don't know how everything works myself. I've not got all the answers. I don't proclaim to have all the answers. I don't know everything about Becky, everything about the universe, everything about ghosts, spirits, demons, the afterlife. What I will say is my knowledge base is probably far advanced than anybody else because of my dealings with Becky and the guys. This year is going to be incredible. And yes, you know what? We will answer a lot of your questions. And some people might want to piss on my answers, but you know what? That's fine. You can take it, leave it, do what you want with it. But this is not my opinion. This is coming, as I've said many times before, from the guys, from Becky and people like Becky. Okay. So don't shoot the messenger. I am just merely a pupil of many years. Right. What else have we got? I love the winters, honey. Oh, Paddy, you're such a babe. It's just our life and it's wonderful and I feel very privileged. Well, this is the thing, darling. Everything is a privilege. Life is a privilege. Do you know what? I don't want to get deep. I need you people to look at the world with fresh eyes. Seriously. Because I've said many times before, life is unpredictable, life is unfair, and life can be cruel. Not less my poor mother who's suffering with Alzheimer's and vascular dementia and you don't know where she is. I've seen this decline. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God, it hurts. Lisa Marie Presley, I've mentioned this before, 54, fine, died, gone, heart attack. Do you think when she got up that morning, she'll be thinking, this is my last day of my life? With her kids, her family. Do you know what? We all take life for granted. We all do it. Today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 10 years, 5 years. Hey, I'm young. I'm fine. I've got like years ahead of me. No, guys. Despite a lot of people are not wanting to piss anyone's fire. God's will and everything. You know what? There is no God's will. There is life. It can be raw. It can be cruel. It can be unfair. My thing is this. Do you know what, guys? Just be the best person you can be. None of us are perfect, but just be the best person you can be, because life is short and unpredictable. Hey, here's Don Phillips. Next week, we'll do another Supernatural Files. Yeah, hopefully. I don't know if I'm going to be dead tomorrow, the day after, or the day after. I think I've got 20, 30, 40 years left, maybe. But you know what the truth of the matter is? We don't know. You can get up any morning, just a morning like any other morning, and you know what? That's your last day. Car crash, heart attack, run over, doesn't matter. That's how life is. That's how cruel life is. And that's why I'm a great advocate of just loving every single day and appreciating every moment you've got, guys, because you don't know how many moments you've got. See the world with new eyes. I mean, oh my God, the nature, the trees, the plants, the grass, the animals. Don't take it for granted, guys. I know we all do it, but like I said, do you know what? Life is a privilege, and we don't know how long we've got. Just be the best person you can be, and you can't go far wrong. Okay. Wow, the Litians, you know, we're gonna dig into that more. Hopefully they're going to speak more. We need to know who they are. They hear and see everything, fantastic, but we need to know more about that. The conditions will start to improve now as we get over to the winter. We're going to have a fantastic year. I can't wait for my stuff to be going out all over the place. This is the platform me and Becky have been waiting for before we start revealing new information. And I've got to say, just before I go, I've got a cunning plan. We all know that I am totally trying to get into the Skinwalker Ranch because me and Becky could give them information, find out stuff that they couldn't even dream of. I'm going to launch when this stuff goes out on the TV thing all over America and the UK. That's when I'm going to launch my offensive. That's when I'm going to try and contact people at Skinwalker Ranch and say, hey, look, take a look at this. This is who we are. This is proven. This is what we've done. Can we come onto your property? Can we try and help you unravel some mysteries of the Skinwalker Ranch? Please. This weekend, we're going to do Friday night. We'll do Friday night on the Supernatural Files, and we'll do it at 7 p.m. So now you're all aware. Share my work to everywhere, groups and everything, because we're trying to build this channel and our work is important. Thanks for joining me this evening. Gunnar, top guy, fantastic. And thank you, everyone. I'll see you next week on the Supernatural Files.